Hi guys, welcome to Maths. Today we are learning to run a chance experiment, and to be successful we'll be able to discuss the outcomes of the counter experiment that we run using the chance vocabulary that we learnt yesterday. So think back, even pull up that scale from yesterday if you can't quite remember. We had a scale ranging from 0 to 1 with impossible at 0. We had certain all the way up at 1, and in between we had unlikely, even, and likely chance. So refresh your memory on that if you're unsure. Feel free to pull that back up from yesterday so it's there with you. So I have a number of counters here. I've got my green and my yellow, my blue and my red, and I know you don't have these at home, so there's instructions on making your own for your task today a little bit later on. And we're going to start with 6 counters. So I have my 3 green counters and my 3 yellow counters, and I'm going to put them in my hat. Now, because I've got the same amount of counters, same amount of green, same amount of yellow, we need to think about the likelihood of what we're going to pull out. So have a think, what do you think I'm going to pull out? Green or yellow if I dip in without looking? So because of my knowledge, because I know we've got the same amount of green and we've got the same amount of yellow, there's an even chance that we can pull out green. Or there's an even chance that we can pull out yellow because we've got the same amount. For this one, I'm going to say green. Let's see if I was correct. I was. It was an even chance. Now, I have to put this back in if I want my outcomes to be accurate. If I take that out, that changes the chance that I might pull a green or a yellow because that means there's one less green in there. All right, I'm going to add a couple of extras now. I'm going to add my 2 blue counters and my 1 red counter. This brings me up to a total of 9 counters in there. So if we have a look on here, I've got 3 green counters, 3 yellow counters, 2 blue counters, and 1 red counter. If I were to dip my hand in, I want to have a think about what am I most likely to pull out of this hat? And I need to consider the amount of each colour in there. I know I'm most likely to pull out green or yellow because there's more of them in there than there is blue or red. If I were to think about the least likely, what am I least likely to pull out of the hat? That's going to be my lonely red one. There's only one of them, and there's 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 blue is 8. There's 8 other counters in there. Only one of them is red, so I'm least likely to pull a red. What about if I were to ask you, how likely am I to pull out a purple counter? Are there any purple counters in here? I wonder if you can think of the word we would use, the vocabulary we would use to describe the chance of pulling out a purple counter. It starts with I. I wonder if you know. Alrighty guys, I would like you to go on to your task now. If you're somebody who's going to do the challenge today, I want you to stick around just for the end of this video. So I'd expect my grade 4s to be sticking around and any of those 3s that want to give it a go to see what the challenge is today. Alrighty, so the challenge. We can record the probability of pulling out a counter using fractions. So I'm going to use this experiment to show you. And I want to know the probability of pulling out a blue counter. So I need to know the amount of blue counters I have, which is 2. The amount of counters I have in total, which is 9. And I record the probability using our fraction, so one number over another. So the probability of me pulling out a blue counter is 2 out of 9. There's 2 blue counters, there's 9 in total, so the probability of pulling out a blue counter is 2 in 9. If I'm doing the green counters, for example, so we have green was 3 counters in total, so my probability would be 3 out of 9. I want you to have a go at this today with your counter experiment, not with this one here as the example, and see how you go. If you have any questions, be sure to chat to your teacher who's supervising your online learning today. Good luck, guys!